Morning, everyone. My name is Anne. My dog Violet is joining us today. Thanks for joining our break for 8. I'm sure you can tell I'm not feeling 100% today. Interesting that last time I talked about balance and using 4 aspects of us to help us measure our internal balance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspects of ourselves. So now it's interesting, between now and then, I've developed this like head cold and laryngitis, which really makes me feel out of balance from a physical standpoint, at least. If I had to give it a number, like we talked about last time, if I had to give it a number, I would say physically I feel about 20% today. So here I am, beginning of the day. What am I going to do now? I have a list of activities, tasks, conversations that I had planned for today, but I know I do not have the energy to complete everything on my list, right? I'm sure you can relate. I also know about myself that if I try to push through, sometimes I can do this, especially if I was younger, but now it's really only a matter of time before I crash. And if I try to push through, I usually end up paying the price later. So how often during dementia care do we try to push things? And importantly, how often is that a successful approach? In my experience, it's not very often when I'm trying to push or control a situation or a person. If I'm trying to do these things, I'm usually met with resistance. And the more I try to control that situation and push, really the worse I end up feeling in the long run, and let alone the person or the situation. So here are some common scenarios where the tendency to force our own agenda can go haywire or can backfire on us. Forcing our person to do something at a certain time. Forcing our person to do things a certain way. Or forcing our person to do things at our pace. So here's a little story to illustrate. So one of my clients, my very, very favorite clients, I'm going to call her Sunny. She recently moved into a new memory care community. And when it came time to do certain things like eat or take a shower or go to bed, staff were finding her to be quite uncooperative. She would just plant her feet and literally refuse to move. And so I know you're going to feel horrified when I tell you this, just like I did when I witnessed this. But a few times, staff would actually physically kind of push her to where they wanted her to go. So she'd kind of plant her feet in. They'd say she's being stubborn. And so they would really physically try to move her. And, they would. And I know we don't expect this in a memory care facility where staff have received training. And I don't mean to suggest that all places are like this. There are a lot of places that do this very well. So I don't want to have this be a commentary on long-term care. Just that this is an example on how forcing our own agenda can create a really terrible experience for everyone involved. My client was frustrated. She didn't understand what was happening, and staff were frustrated because she wasn't cooperating, right? So I think when we find ourselves in situations where our way it's not going to happen. Like today, my normal way of going about the day is not going to happen today. I just have to accept the situation for what it is and move forward. And in doing so, I can think of ways to adapt my approach. adapting my approach is not only the best strategy for me, but it also applies for anybody I interact with today. Because we can kind of sidestep resistance when we adapt our approach. We can avoid a fight when we pivot to a new way when what we're doing isn't working. And I'm sure this has cropped up in your life many times. Many times also finding the right approach takes trial and error. And, for example, I've learned through experience that pushing my way through today is not going to end well for me. So anyway, back to the story about Sunny. I don't want to leave you hanging too much. So I have the luxury of knowing her very, very, very well. I've worked with her when she was still living at home. So I've known her for about 2 years. And I know that Sunny absolutely loves the band ABBA. So whenever she hears her favorite song, Dancing Queen, her entire being just lights up, and it's one of my very favorite things to watch. Just to see her transformed, and it really just elevates my mood and the mood of everyone else around us, because she just is so happy to hear that song. So one day when I arrived to visit Sunny, this sounds really sad, and it is. I witnessed staff trying to persuade her to go to the beauty salon. She had a haircut and a shampoo scheduled. So they were actually literally dragging her down the hall. And I nearly lost my mind when I came upon the scene. But, I took my breath and just tried to calmly suggest, let's try a different approach. So knowing Sunny, knowing about her love for music, I grabbed my phone and started playing Dancing Queen. And as soon as she heard it, just like always, she literally transformed. She relaxed and got the biggest smile on her face. So instead of dragging her down the hall to the hair salon, we were able to dance with her down the hall and into the chair. So not only did my client transform into just a more joyful state, but the staff and other people in the vicinity really lightened up too, including the person who was trying to drag her down the hall. So I'm going to take my own advice today. Try not to force things. And I hope you'll remember this story when you're met with any form of resistance. Alrighty, so now it's time finally to set your coffee cup down. Just would like you to sit back and enjoy a few moments of relaxation to recharge your battery. So let's just close your eyes and take a few deep belly breaths out of your mouth, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just keep you breathing here for a few moments at a pace that feels good to you. Become aware of any tension in your body that you haven't noticed maybe before. Perhaps this is because you've been too busy focusing on the needs of others. This is your time to clear your mind of thinking about what you have to do today for other people. With your next breath out, allow all that external pressure to leave your body. Let's just take a few more breaths in and out to continue releasing any pressure you've put on yourself or have felt coming at you from others. Right now, at this moment, bring your attention to yourself. Enjoy this moment of stillness and peace by allowing all thoughts to leave your mind. Let's do a quick scan, another quick scan for tightness, starting at your scalp. And we'll move down your body. Please relax the tiny muscles in your forehead, in your jaw, relax your neck by drawing your shoulders downward. Release the tension from your shoulder blades. Have you ever noticed that the word should appears in the word shoulder? Take a deep belly breath now and release the weight of all the shoulds you hold yourself to. I should eat better. I should organize this closet. I should not yell at my mother. I should be more patient. Release the weight of all those shoulds. Sense yourself lighten as the weight of the world removes itself from your shoulders and finds another home. Feel that new lightness relax your stomach, your pelvis, and float down through your legs. And travel out your feet. Give your toes a little wiggle. And continue gently wiggling or tapping them as you start thinking of a favorite song that makes you want to dance. Depending on how you feel, it may be a slow, rhythmic song, or it could be a faster tempo with more bounce. Sunny's recommendation would be Dancing Queen, but whatever song matches your mood is the perfect choice. Just sit here for a few moments, moving your toes or circling your ankles. You could also sway a little bit if you like. Just allow the energy of your song, paired with your breathing, to start reviving you. Feel more empowered to dance your way through the day today. And if you find yourself forcing your way through, pause for a few moments, regroup, and then step back on your dance floor. The next time you inhale, feel the air come up through your feet and travel to the top of your head. And on the exhale, let go of any tension that has built up from all the resistance that dementia care brings. Spend another few moments breathing like this, up through the bottom of your feet and back down. When you're ready, you can gently begin to open your eyes, or if you want to stay here, that's fine too. Just push the pause button. Okay, everyone, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm running out of gas from a voice perspective, but I'd like you to just please join me today in listening to your body and make any adjustments that allow you to flow or to dance rather than pushing your way through. Take care of yourself. You've got this.